Hey guys, it's Jeremy here with Majors Academy Dog Training, Green Bay, Wisconsin, and I want to talk to you guys about something I was talking to a client on the phone with tonight, and she put a lot of emphasis on this subject that we're going to talk about, and I wanted to discuss it with you guys and see what you think. First of all, this is our first Periscope in 2016, so Happy New Year's to everyone. I hope you guys had great holidays. We had a lot of great time with family and friends, so thanks for tuning in. But let's get to the subject. So what we were talking about is how much, a lot of rescue dogs, whenever you're talking to a client that has a rescue dog, or whenever I talk to a client that has a rescue dog, the past usually is a big factor in why they are acting the way they are. And you're trying to determine how much that actually matters in the reasons why they're behaving that way. And so one of the key questions that I ask is, how long have you had the dog? Because that plays a big role into, if the past does actually matter. So, for example, this woman today on the phone with me said, how long? I asked her, how long did you keep the dog? And she said, for about a year and a half. And I said, so I told her then, a year is plenty of time for a dog to get comfortable with you. So that tells you that the past is kind of null and void in that situation. Past doesn't really have to do much with how the dog is acting now. It takes a good, I would say at the most, 3 or 4 months for a dog that comes from a bad situation to get comfortable with you. Now that's in general, not every dog. There are certain dogs that need a lot more time. But if your dog is acting aggressive and you've had them since a puppy, a lot of people call me that have puppies that they've got for 8 weeks and have no past and still act the same way as a dog that comes from a rescue. So saying that, the past really isn't a factor. Some people get stuck in the past of where their dog came from, what traumatic situation. But if your dog is comfortable enough to act sassy or act like a brat, then your dog probably is comfortable enough to move forward from their past. I am an obedience trainer, and I do a little bit of protection on the side. So my protection is not my primary focus. It's too many liability reasons. I just stick with pet dog training. So I'll do it every now and then if we have someone who is I feel comfortable with working with, okay? Because there's a lot of liability when it comes to protection training. So, anyway, yeah, to me, it's not very worth my time. There's a lot of time and energy that goes into protection work, and you have to be very meticulous, and it's not worth the money, really. So, yeah, I teach my personal dogs the same. But anyway, let's get back to the subject. Often you will have clients that that put a lot of emphasis on the past as how their dogs are acting, and the way that you can sort of break through that is to ask them how long have they had the dog, and or is the dog comfortable enough to act pretentious in any way, sassy in any way, assertive, assuming, anticipating in any way. If your dog is doing those things and they're pretty comfortable with everything, right? And so now the past becomes less of an issue. Yes, we should always keep the past as in the back of our mind, but it is not the tell-all, okay? We don't want people to get stuck in the past as a means to not move forward in certain circumstances. Okay, so I'm just talking in general terms. I'm not talking every dog. You will have a dog that you will meet in your training career or whatever that will need a whole bunch of time to do anything. And yes, the past is a big factor. But in general, the dogs that I talk to, it doesn't matter if it's a puppy. It doesn't matter. There's people that have aggressive dogs that come from, perfectly good homes, litters, situations, and all that stuff. So there's just a little bit more fear factor when it comes to puppies or rescue dogs. So exactly, and then that's the other thing they say is they all think that they've been beat, been tortured, been all that, but when a trainer with experienced eyes looks and sees a dog, you can tell otherwise. And so it's very important to let the client know again that the past probably isn't that much of a big deal. Okay, so if you guys have any questions, whoever watching, I appreciate all the hearts and the love out here in Green Bay, Wisconsin. It's real cold up here, but we're trying to stay warm. I've got 3 dogs in my kennel right now, and actually 2 of them have just come for obedience, which is rare. I just most of the time work with the nervy, fearful, aggressive dogs, but 2 of them are just not aggressive at all, so it's pretty cool. Do you have any experience with rehab any bait dogs? Is that harder than most? Yeah, I used to actually adopted one for a long time, or you could say foster for a long time. Dog's name was Sasha, and she had scars up here and everywhere. I do have a lot of experience with that. I ended up being able to take her to dog daycare with a lot of dogs around. But it took a long time. And in that case, that was that special dog that may need more time with dogs. It was great with humans, but dogs was just out of the question. Did not want to be around other dogs. Okay. But that dog was probably the sweetest dog I know. Her name was Sasha. And so we adopted her out. But yeah, we mostly train fearful and aggressive dogs. It's just me, and I work out of my house. I like to keep it intimate. Maybe one day I'll get a larger house, but I'm not going to get into a facility. That's just not my style for now. But a dog who had been attacked by another dog will be forever dog aggressive, or at least so I hear. No, I don't agree with that at all, man. You may be surprised. Here's the deal with that. We gotta define what we also have to come into an agreement about what aggressive is, because what people label aggressive isn't really aggressive. It's because it's almost an action because of a feeling. So they're aggressive because they feel a certain way, right? So if we can identify the feeling as being fearful, then we know how to attack, or we know how to approach that dog, because it's all about showing the fearful dog not to be afraid. Then the aggression melts away. So then there's the other type of aggression where the dog does actually want to cause harm, and there's no really getting through to it. But good, experienced trainers are able to tell, no matter what breed. Because, for example, there's this huge pit bull that comes to us, and it looks like the dog wants to hurt another dog. It really, 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 really starts to look. First 2 sessions, I thought the dog, we wouldn't be able to help the dog. But after a while, and advocating for that dog, the dog really showed a fearful side. It was, in fact, a very fearful dog when it came to other dogs. And it wanted to control the situation, because no one showed the dog how to control his impulses when there was other dogs. Even that dog came from fighting lions, and now the dog can be around other dogs very confidently because he's not in fear of those other dogs. But you also have to be careful with who you associate those other dogs with. They have to be around nothing but balanced dogs at all times. If you don't socialize a dog after being attacked, it can cause dog aggressiveness. If you don't socialize at all, it can cause dog aggressive. Here's dog aggressiveness in a nutshell: is dogs that are afraid, insecure about other dogs for some past experience or from zero experience. Most dogs that become dog aggressive that come to me have been attacked by other dogs, either off leash, or on a walk, or a situation where most of the time it's when dog owners are on walks, right? And that off-leash dog comes up and starts a fight. And then dogs are very scared of other dogs when put in that situation again. Because there's a big difference between dogs acting aggressive off-leash and dogs acting aggressive on-leash. And the only difference is the dog can be able to walk away from the situation. And she became very fearful, and I have 4 dogs. And that happens a lot. That happens a lot. But again, I used to work at a dog daycare for years, right? So we had many dogs that got along together. But some certain dogs, when they got clipped on the leash, they became a different dog. Why do y'all think that is? Why does an off-leash dog act differently than an on-leash dog? There are dogs that can be human aggressive, on leash, and off leash, fine with humans. Exactly, because you're taking their ability away to walk away from conflict. And so they do what works. Doesn't mean they're aggressive. It just means they're uncomfortable. It's like us yelling to get rid of someone else that's in our face or something like that. Will he become, if I don't, he will be unfamiliar with it, which means he will become insecure with the other males, and then he will more than likely start to fight. So yes, you do want to socialize him with balanced dogs, not just any dogs though, So anyway, big difference between off-leash and on-leash, right? But overall, doesn't matter. The biggest factor in getting dogs to become non-insecure or getting over their insecurities comes through our leadership. That is the biggest factor. So awesome. I'm glad you're becoming a dog trainer. We need more dog trainers out there. There are plenty of people who pretend to be dog trainers, and then there are trainers who have been who have been in the game for 20 plus years, and they still don't know how to walk a dog on a leash. So we need better dog trainers out there. I wish you good luck. Whereabouts do you live, future dog trainer? Whereabouts do you live? I can point you in a direction if you want to be mentored by somebody that is pretty good, because I know a lot of people. I've got a good network around the United States. Montreal. Okay, so that ain't Dominique, is it? Anyway, there's a dog trainer out in Quebec named Dominique. I believe his what is his dog training company? Like Dog Tao, T-A-O. Dominique. Look him up on Facebook if you got a Facebook account. He's a good trainer. So anyway, that's all I got. You guys have been great. Yeah, look him up on Facebook. What's up, Miguel? Yeah. What's Dominique's hey, Ann's on. What's Dominique's dog training company? Dominique Robio. I have a trainer. He trains Belgian Malinois and breeds them. What kind of trainer do you want to become? Yeah, I think Dog Tao. Yeah, because there's people who want to go into protection training. There's people who want to go into search and rescue, pet dog training. There's all sorts of training. Scent training, hunt dog training. There's a lot of it. Dominic Robio. Yep, that's the name of the trainer right there. Look him up on Facebook. I think he may be in your area, and he's a good trainer. So, anybody else have any other questions? We were just talking about the past and how much that affects dogs. Or, I think since most of the people that watch me are dog trainers, we were talking about how to kind of take away that excuse a lot of clients give you. What's up from Russia? What's up? Shout outs to Russia. But anyway, I'm getting ready to eat because I'm hungry. So anyway, you guys have been great. Thank you for watching. Give me one last heart. Give me one last love. I appreciate the support. And we'll try to do these weekly, maybe. I don't like to schedule them all the time like that because I want to keep them raw. I want to keep them genuine. I don't want to just put out a whole bunch. You know, I just want to, when I feel it, I want to give it to the people like you guys. So y'all have a good 2016. I know I'm going to. Let's all get motivated together. And hey, thanks. Hey, appreciate it. I want to be a protection trainer and balance trainer. Okay. Well, like I said, check out Dominic and start from there, bud. Bye, guys. I appreciate y'all.